This is founder of Amazing at Home e-commerce consulting and co-founder of the EVOLATAM Tradeshow and the Mexico trip. And today I'm so excited to talk to you about what's going on in Mexico, June 4th through the 9th. We're going to be in Mexico City for a sourcing trip and incredible trade show. Today I'm going to be answering the most frequently asked questions that we've had about the trip, tell you about the trip, the schedule, all of that, and allow you to ask your questions as well during this live. So without further ado, let's get into it. I have a list of our most asked questions. And the first one is, what is the Mexico trip? People wonder, what the heck are we doing? What is this trip all about? So I'm going to share what this trip is all about. Our Mexico trip is actually made up of 2 trips and 2 opportunities. So first we have the Mexico sourcing trip, which is happening June 4th through the 9th in Mexico City. This is an all-inclusive trip that really covers your meals, your hotels, your transportation, everything. And we are going to do 3 days of learning, 3 days of conferences, 3 days of learning, 3 days of special dinners. We're going to get into the schedule in just a minute. But why? Why should you come on a sourcing trip? Like, can't you just Google Mexico manufacturers, right? Well, the reason we're doing this trip is because Mexico is not China, okay? We can't there's no Alibaba. We don't know the culture. We don't know how to negotiate. It's not the same as China. So we put together a trip with experts both from Mexico and from America already sourcing from Mexico to teach you all about how to source from Mexico. All right, so that is why we're putting together this sourcing trip. And then we also have the Mexico Trip Mastermind, which is a mastermind taking place in Cancun, Mexico. So we're going to go from Mexico City to Cancun, and this is going to be an advanced mastermind that is happening from June 9th through the 12th. So you have a choice. You can either come to just the sourcing trip, just the mastermind, or you can get the VIP experience and come to both. And again, everything is all inclusive. Your meals, your, all your conferences, our tourist activities that we're going to be doing, everything is covered because we don't want you to think about anything else except for learning how to source and connecting with the manufacturers, doing the factory tours, everything that we're going to be doing on this trip. So what is the Mexico trip? That is what it is. And you can go to themexicotrip.com to learn more. The second question that I've been giving is, what is the EVOLATAM Trade Show and who are the exhibitors? So people want to know, first of all, what is this trade show? Like, who's putting on this trade show? What is it all about, right? And then they want to know, can I get a list of exhibitors? That's the second biggest question that we get. So now I'm going to show you our EVOLATAM Trade Show. So the first thing is, what is the EVOLATAM Trade Show? Who's putting it on? Guess what? I'm putting it on. I'm crazy. Along with Tim Jordan and Norm Farrar, we decided there aren't really any trade shows in Mexico right now that are designed to connect micro brands with manufacturers who will actually work with micro brands. As most of you may already know, what the large manufacturing activities are going on in Mexico is like automotive and that kind of like larger machinery. Well, what does that have to do with us? We're micro brands, right? We are sourcing from home goods categories, from giftables. We need to source things that are made of wood, things that are sewn. We need smaller things. We need smaller MOQs. So what we're doing is we're putting on our own trade show. And this trade show is going to be in the World Trade Center, June 8th. So if I'm going to scroll down here, June 8th, World Trade Center in Mexico City. It's free to attend, you guys. It is free to attend. So if you want to get yourself to Mexico City, you can actually just go to evolatam.com and register, and you can join us for this trade show. Mexico City is very, very easy to get to. It's a major airport. Transportation is really easy. The hotels are great, right? So if you're coming on the Mexico trip with us, you're going to already attend this trade show with us. We're going to provide your transportation. We are going to provide everything for you if you're coming on the Mexico trip. But if you just want to come to the trade show, if you're a micro brand owner, if you're just curious about sourcing from Mexico and you want to meet manufacturers, come to this trade show, right? So you can just register at evolatam.com. And let's get into the next question, which is, who are the exhibitors? That's what people want to know. Everybody's been sending us these messages. Who are the exhibitors? And that is really, really important, right? Because you want to know, can I actually meet the right exhibitor? Can I actually meet the right manufacturer to source my product from Mexico? And what we're doing there is we're not only bringing manufacturers, we have new manufacturers signing up every day, and we don't have their entire list of products, right? This is something that's new. This is something that's different. So we're not sending out exhibitor lists every day as we get new exhibitors signing up. What we're doing is we're making sure that we have a matching service. So we've got sourcing agents that are experienced and also coming to our trade show, and we have new manufacturers signing up every day. So whether or not your exhibitor is at this trade show, you are going to be connected with the right network in order for you to source what you're looking for in Mexico. Now, that being said, are you going to be able to source every single product? Are you going to be able to replace your China supply chain? I'm not going to promise that, right? This is new. This is interesting. However, you are going to be able to be connected and be able to start that sourcing process. And I'm sure you're going to be able to find a source for at least one of your products, right? That is for sure. Absolutely. So not only are we going to have exhibitors here, but Mexico City is not the only sourcing destination in Mexico. There's tons of them. That's why we are connecting you with the experts, logistics experts, sourcing experts, not just manufacturers, so that you can reach beyond this trade show and get help sourcing the things that you need to source. Okay, so that is it. Then the other thing that people are wanting to know is, why should I attend the trip or the trade show, right? Who is going to benefit from this trip? So I want to really get into, why should you attend, right? And I'm just going to hide this on the stream here and just talk to you. Why should you attend? Okay, why am I attending? Why did I even put this thing together? I have to tell you guys, when I started my private label brand in 2017, I was sourcing from Alibaba, just like everybody else. And I thought I was doing pretty good, right? I had pretty decent margins on my products, and I was able to source. I was able to communicate with manufacturers. Everything was good. I did have one problem. One of my manufacturers actually took my pictures off of Amazon and put them on Alibaba and sold my designs to Alibaba customers. And luckily I reached out to that manufacturer and they took it down. But a year later, I actually went to China for the first time as part of a sourcing trip that I was hosting. And it changed everything for my business. First of all, I was able to learn that I could get molds made in China, and I didn't have to go through an intermediary in the United States. And the intermediary that I went through in the United States, they charged me about $42,000 for a mold. And I learned by going to China that I could pay about $13,000 if I went myself for that same mold. That's a $30,000 savings. Secondly, I met factories that were already making my types of goods, and I was able to make those connections with those factories and save myself a ton of money. So where I was paying about $6 a unit for a product through Alibaba, through a trading company, I was actually able to save myself $4 a unit and bring my cost down to $2 a unit. This was huge. The other thing is, this factory, they don't have a huge presence on Alibaba. So then I was able to actually get access to new designs that other sellers didn't have access to. And it really allowed me to expand my business. So that brings me to my next point, which is, why should I attend a trip or a trade show in Mexico? Number one, there is no Alibaba for Mexico. There's no Alibaba. Many of these manufacturers don't even have websites. So, and these are great manufacturers. They're manufacturing local already for retailers, everything else. If you were to go to Mexico and go into a store, you would see tons of stuff that's made in Mexico that you could source and sell in the United States. And you'd ask yourself, where do I find these manufacturers? Where can I find these manufacturers to source these products to actually put them in my store? Well, you have to go to a trade show. You have to go in person, just like I went to China in person and it changed my business forever. So this is why we are hosting the EVOLATAM Trade Show. And by the way, we actually hired a company that puts on all the major trade shows in Mexico City already. So we're not doing the work. We are hiring the experts who already do this, who already have the connections, right? So you can really expect to meet manufacturers there and build connections that are going to have a lasting impact on your business. And you're going to be able to build a moat around your business, right? The next question is, who is going to benefit from this trip? So I've had a lot of questions like, if I'm a beginner and I've never sold and I'm just interested in this and I'm interested in sourcing, should I come? Yes, you should absolutely come. You're going to be surrounded by people who are already selling, already experts. You're going to meet people. You're going to learn. What if you're an advanced seller? What if most of your supply chain is already established? Will you benefit from this trip? Absolutely. Because again, you're going to expand your network. You're going to meet those connections that are necessary for you. And so why Mexico? Why should we even consider sourcing in Mexico? Well, first of all, you're right now paying thousands of dollars to source from other countries, overseas countries, for shipping, right? You're paying thousands of dollars. If you're selling in North America, you're going to reduce that thousands of dollars price down to hundreds of dollars, right? Ground transportation is much cheaper than overseas ocean freight that takes over 30 days. So it's really, really important that you understand that this might take you a little bit of extra work because Mexico is not as far along as China in some areas of manufacturing, but that extra work is going to pay off. Not to mention, instead of waiting 30 days to get your products, you're going to have 2 days of shipping time into the US. And then the next thing is tariffs, all right? Tariffs. You're paying right now, I don't know what kind of tariffs depending on the products that you're sourcing, but there's free trade between the US and Mexico. So you're going to reduce your tariffs down to nothing. Again, if you can't move your entire supply chain from China to Mexico, which we don't expect you to be able to do with this first trip, but if you're able to move some of your raw materials to a manufacturer in Mexico and you can get those goods finished, if you have over a certain percentage of goods manufactured and finished in Mexico, you're able then to take advantage of that free trade. So the last part is actually logistics, okay? Logistics is really, really important. There's a ton of 3PLs, warehouses, everything like that right on the border in Mexico. And labor is actually cheaper in Mexico than it is in China. So you are going to save a lot of money and only 2 days shipping time to Amazon warehouses and wherever else you're selling. You're going to be able to move some of your logistics from the US to Mexico and really save yourself a lot of money and time. So it's worth it. Now let's talk about your business model. Who's going to benefit from this trip? Whether you're private label, whether you're a wholesaler, whether you're a reseller. Let's talk about that. Should you come on this trip if you're a reseller? Yes. Think about all of the finished goods and brands. Remember I said you go into a store in Mexico, you're going to see all this stuff made in Mexico and you're going to wonder, how do I get this stuff? Guess what? You're going to meet manufacturers of finished goods that you can source and then sell, whether you're a wholesaler or a reseller. Now, if you're going to develop products as a private labeler, you can either white label products from these finished goods manufacturers, or you can work with them to develop your own goods. But if you're a reseller or a wholesaler, you want to consider this trip, because imagine the moat you can build around your business when other people cannot source the same way that you do. And remember, you have that free trade and you have that 2-day shipping time. So these are things to seriously consider for joining us on the trip. All right, my next top question is, how do I find suppliers in Mexico? So of course, the number one way to find suppliers in Mexico or any country where there is no Alibaba is to join us for a trade show and a sourcing trip to actually learn how to do business in that country. But if you can't join us, how do you find suppliers in Mexico? Well, it's very important, first of all, that you know your manufacturing process, okay? So that you're not going to be able to go to Mexico and say, send a picture over the internet of this product and say, can you just make this for me, right? You're not going to be able to do that. Mexico is not China. So what I want you to do is think about, what is your product? How is it manufactured, right? What is that process called? Is it cut and sew? Is it injection molding? Is it plastics? What is it called? What is that product called? What is that type of product called in Spanish? And then start searching for those types of manufacturers. You can Google in Spanish, and you will find some, but remember, a lot of them do not have websites yet or established websites that rank super well on Google. You may be able to also find them on LinkedIn. Once you know that process and you start doing some research there. But just know that Mexico is not China, and it's not going to be easy to simply Google, find a manufacturer, and send a message, right? So it's really good to have contacts in Mexico that can go and reach out to those suppliers for you. Most of them do speak English, right? That's really, really good, but it's not as easy to find manufacturers. So that's why we're hooking you up with sourcing agents, everything else at this trade show in Mexico City on June 8th, the EVOLATAM Tradeshow. So that's just talking about that. I want to encourage you to try and find manufacturers. There's a lot of different things that you can source. There's wood products, there are metal products, there are leather goods, all kinds of that kind of stuff. So on our China trips, we mostly focus on phase 2 of the Canton Fair, which is your home goods and your giftables. You're going to be able to find nearly all of that in Mexico, especially ceramics. That's very popular in Mexico, grocery. So there's lots and lots of products you're going to be able to source. Also, molds are also commonly made in Mexico. That's actually the only other country outside of China where injection molds are created. So you're going to be able to find those manufacturing type of processes as well. But it's going to require an understanding of how to do business in Mexico, how to communicate, right? You don't necessarily have to speak Spanish, but it's very important that you understand that the culture there is different. And this is not China. This is not China. We can't just send a picture and say, make this for me, right? So we've got to take that extra step, but that extra step is worth it because we are going to save a ton of money. We're going to shorten our lead times, right? And we are going to be able to source things that our competitors may not be able to, building a moat around our business. So next, I want to talk to you guys about the highlights of the Mexico trip and why you should consider coming along. I have a really great schedule here of the Mexico trip. If you go to themexicotrip.com and you visit this sourcing tab here, you're going to see this schedule. So let's go over the schedule. Let's see here. All right, so we've got June 5th. June 4th, you're going to arrive in Mexico City. That's our travel day. We are going to transport you from the airport to our hotel. June 5th, we're going to do breakfast together. We have a really fun day together, and we're going to have a welcome gala dinner. So we are going to be, myself and Tim Jordan are going to be presenting a special workshop about private label development, private label sourcing, that kind of stuff. We're going to kind of teach you a little bit about private label and how you can improve your private label business. No matter your business model, you're going to learn a lot from these presentations in the morning. And then we're going to have some lunch together. And then that afternoon, we are going to do an awesome cultural activity. So we're going to leave the actual event as a surprise, but we're going to go together and do some tourism in the local area. And it's going to be a great way to network and have fun together on that first day. And then when we return to the hotel, we are going to have an official opening gala. There's going to be entertainment, incredible meals, just really great speakers. You are going to love it. It's going to be just a perfect opening to the trip. And then June 6th, we're going to do conference and factory tours. So first we're going to have conference day 1, which is sourcing in Mexico 101. You're going to learn all about business, culture, trade basics, and how to talk to suppliers. So you're going to learn this from the best thought leaders in the industry. And then we're going to do a buffet lunch at the hotel. And then in the afternoon, we are going to go on a factory tour. We really, really want you to actually be engrossed in this environment and learn together. So that is what we're going to do that afternoon. And then on Tuesday, June 7th, we're going to do conference, sightseeing, and private dinner. So first, we're going to talk about Mexico manufacturing basics, types of products, logistics, legal, and Amazon Mexico. We are going to teach you all about that on that second day. And then we're going to go to downtown Mexico City and have some fun. And then at dinner, we're going to have a really beautiful dinner at our hotel and another just great time together. So just incredible networking and fun together. And then June 8th is our trade show at EVOLATAM. So we are going to go to the World Trade Center in Mexico City. We are going to attend, and it is going to be really, really great. We're going to attend the trade show all day, and you're going to use your knowledge to actually talk to manufacturers and have a great time. And then we are going to, the next day, we're going to actually travel home and to the Cancun Mastermind for those of you who are doing the VIP trip with us. So if you go to the Mastermind tab, if you're curious about that, I'm going to keep it to sourcing in Mexico today. But if you go to the Mastermind tab, you're going to learn all about the Mastermind and why you should attend. Now, just a little note about the Mastermind. This is an advanced level Mastermind. This is not about sourcing in Mexico. It's about everything e-commerce, and you're going to learn from the best minds in the industry at an all-inclusive resort in Cancun. So definitely consider the VIP ticket, which gets you both of these events. All right. So next, what are the highlights of the EVOLATAM trade show? So let's talk about that. So what is the trade show going to be all about? So in the Learn tab of evolatam.com, you're going to see that we have 2 tracks happening. The first track, we are going to have a stage on the exhibition floor. So of course you're going to meet your manufacturers, all of that. We're going to have a stage on the exhibition floor, and you're going to learn throughout the day. You're also going to be able to meet exhibitors, right? You're going to learn all about topics related to the supply chain in Latin America, lots of products that you can obtain, and just kind of get that knowledge as you're walking the trade show floor. You can kind of catch those things. We're also going to have multilingual headsets so that you can, whoever's speaking, whether they're in Spanish or English, you're going to be able to understand what is being said there. And then track 2 is our education event, which is going to be June 7th. And we are actually teaching our exhibitors how to work with micro brands like us, right? We're teaching them what it looks like to do business with us. So not only do we want to teach you how to do business in Mexico, we want to ensure that our manufacturers that are eager to work with us understand the best way to work with us. So that is what we're going to do on June 7th for all of our exhibitors. So that's kind of what is going on the EVOLATAM trade show floor. The other thing is the evening of the event, we're going to be doing Ecom Connect. And Ecom Connect is an incredible networking event that is going to take place in the evening of the trade show. And so there's going to be a small cost to this, but let me show you a short video all about Ecom Connect.
The most valuable asset in any business is the network. Suppliers, buyers, marketers, and all the other experts needed to make your business profitable are all part of that network. For the first time ever, the EVOLATAM Tradeshow presents Ecommerce Connect. This one-night event connects buyers, sellers, and experts to help you build your network, but also to celebrate the growing world of e-commerce. Ecommerce Connect is the event for e-com sellers in Latin America and beyond. Whether you are a seasoned seller, just beginning your journey, or a supplier that wants to learn more about this growing world of e-commerce and how it is impacting Latin America, make sure to be here. You can find out more at evolatam.com. and click the link at the top for Ecommerce Connect.
All right, so hopefully that tells you a little bit more about our networking event. The idea is to bring everybody together after the trade show so that we can talk, we can learn more, we can connect more, and it's just gonna be a great event, again, at the World Trade Center. We're gonna have great food, great drinks, all of that kind of stuff. And again, you can register for the EVOLATAM Trade Show free at evolatam.com, and we'll send you more information closer to the event about how to register for Ecommerce Connect, which is that night. And all of our Mexico trip attendees are going to be able to attend with us as part of the Mexico trip. So that will just be included in your Mexico trip. So those of you who are interested in the EVOLATAM Trade Show, you can register for free, as I mentioned, at evolatam.com. You just scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, and let me just show you what that looks like. You scroll down to the bottom of the homepage here, and you just click attendee or exhibitor, whichever one you are, and you can very easily register for the trade show. You just fill out this form and click submit, and we will get you registered ASAP. And then for the Mexico trip, you can simply go to themexicotrip.com and you can discover the different events that we're doing, the Mexico sourcing trip, as well as the Cancun Mastermind. And at any time, we've got some frequently asked questions, everything like that here. And then we've got our EVOLATAM Trade Show here. And who's running this thing? Myself, Tim Jordan, Norm Farrar. We've got really, really great speakers. We have really, really great sponsors. Our sponsors are just incredible. And then we've got Alibaba sponsoring the trade show as well. So definitely come here and you can click the sign up now button, and that is going to take you to the page to decide which trip you would like to choose from. And don't forget that you can use the coupon code Mexico VIP to save $500 on your trip. And remember, these are all inclusive. All you have to do is get yourself to Mexico City for the event, and we take care of everything else. And you can pick one trip, both trips, or you can just attend the EVOLATAM Trade Show by going to evolatam.com. So please let us know any questions that you have. Love to hear from you. I'm just going to check the chat real quick before I end this stream today. And let's see what we got. Nelson is saying hello. Hello, Nelson. Great to hear from you. All right, you guys. So we are limited to 100 attendees. We do have new attendees signing up every day. We are not limited on the trade show. Sign up right now. Get registered. If you're wondering about exhibitors, if you have questions for us, absolutely reach out. The last thing that I wanted to bring up today is that we do have a webinar coming up we do have a webinar coming up next week. We're going to be answering your questions, myself, Tim Jordan, Norm Farrar. So you can sign up for that at themexicotrip.com/webinar. That's free. We just want to be able to answer your questions. We realize that this is a big trip, right? Okay, the other question that people had, I just want to address one other thing, is Mexico safe, right? People are wondering, is Mexico safe, right? I want to address this because anytime that you travel internationally, you should always be concerned about your safety. I travel internationally all the time by myself. So I definitely look this up, right? But we are taking, whenever you come on a trip like this, we provide everything for you. It's all inclusive. So the cities that we are going to are very safe, and the areas of those cities that we're going to, Mexico City and Cancun, are very, very safe in terms of course, you know, if you go in a big city like Mexico City, if you're going down a dark alley by yourself, hey, okay, but you're not going to be by yourself. You're going to be with us. We're not going to be traveling down dark alleys. We're going to be at our hotel. We're going to be at the amazing event. All of your transportation, all of your meals are going to be provided. All you're going to be able to do there is just enjoy yourself and each other as we network and have a great time and learn how to source from Mexico and make the necessary connections to make that happen for our business. So I hope that today's live stream has been incredibly valuable for you. I hope you'll consider registering for the EVOLATAM Trade Show at evolatam.com. I hope you'll consider coming with us on the Mexico sourcing trip and joining us in Cancun for the mastermind at themexicotrip.com. Don't forget to use that coupon code MEXICOVIP to save $500 on your trip. And please, at any time, you can always go to themexicotrip.com/more-info, and you can fill out our form there, join our mailing list. We've got a ton of news there as well. We're publishing new blogs every week. We're working on a sourcing guide. So definitely stay in touch with us. Let us know what your questions are and take advantage of this incredible, groundbreaking opportunity to diversify your supply chain and grow your business. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in today or catching the replay. Reach out anytime, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.